There is no such thing as high quality, cheap prices. Does not exist.
Download now. The ultimate guide to Istanbul.
I want to give you guys some surefire tips before you ever come to Istanbul. So when you come here to shop, number one, if you're coming to shop for replica items, you're going to need to understand the original one. And how can you do that? How can you get yourself familiar with the actual retail version without going to the retail shop? Best thing to do is go onto the official website, read, look at the photos, save a photo to your phone as well, so you can blow it up and really, go in to check out. Because there is hidden details that they put in bags, especially, to kind of make it very difficult to be replicated, even at the high level. So you're going to be looking for these little details. So the idea is you want to have a good photo off the official website so you can blow it up and really look at it. Also, read the description, the sizing, right? Also read the materials that the bag is made of. You can also Google, if it says a certain type of leather you never heard of before, Google that leather. So when you come to a bag shop, a high-end bag shop, right? And you're talking to them about the bag, you already have understanding of what that bag that you're looking for, what it's supposed to be. And then this way you can talk to them and they can explain to you the leather and this and that. And you have some knowledge. This will also come in handy when you find people lying to you. When you go to, say, a mid-level or a lower level bag store, you're not really kind of sure what this is and they start throwing out different terms and stuff. You did your research. You learned a little bit. So that's tip number one. Tip number two that you need to understand, this is really going to affect your haggling and everything in the markets. And that is understanding the levels of quality, the different levels of quality that are sold here in Istanbul, what is available to you and what is not available to you. So in general terms, we have low, mid, and we have high quality. Now, there's going to be varying degrees of low, varying degrees of medium, and varying degrees of high quality. You kind of have to understand that. That's why you read my guide. My guide breaks down all of that. And also it breaks down the key points of what is the difference between the different levels? What are you getting for that money, right? Because obviously low quality, cheap price. Will some sellers try to take advantage of you because they think you're kind of green, you don't really understand quality? They're going to sell you a very low quality bag, but tell you it's high quality, all that kind of stuff. Sure, this is the markets. There's thousands and thousands of shops in Istanbul. And part of the whole thing is negotiating and have that kind of fun. And if they could take you, they will. So you kind of have to get yourself used to the different levels of quality. Now, if you're watching me because of high quality. You know me, I always say it a long time. I believe low quality is a waste of money. I think mid quality is the biggest waste of money because buying mid quality makes no sense. It really doesn't. You're spending more money, but you're not really getting that much better of a product than the low quality. And the mid quality does not get even close to the high quality. High quality, sure, it comes with a higher price. This is why you need to get acquainted with the different levels of quality here and the associated price. And what is really the key differences between each type of quality for different products. Bags, I'm standing in a bag shop right now, shoes, watches, clothing, everybody has a different staggered level of quality, and there's a price range associated with each level of quality, and you kind of have to know what those are. It's all in my guide. Make sure you get that guide. Link is in the description, download it, but I got more tips. So tip number 3 will be to inspect the item. Now it's up to you hands-on inspecting. So here in a bag shop, you're gonna want to inspect the bags. You're gonna want to inspect the stitching, right? You're gonna be looking at the metal bits. Are they plated? Are they just coated? What is it? What is this? You're gonna need to ask questions as well. You need to ask the salesperson, what is this? Like, you've done your research, so you know what materials it should be if it's high quality, if this place is high quality, right? So you wanna ask questions because the metal material is gonna be listed on the official website. The type of leather, okay? So you're gonna be checking the stitching. Now, if there's any Googling you can do about this model of bag, and they say, hey, they do this type of stitch or that type of stitch, and it should be like this on the corners, go online, do some Googling. You'll find some videos where people break down some key factors maybe of this type of model of bag. But you have to know the stitching or the design pattern and things like that. And you're going to want to inspect the inside. Is the lining the right color? That's something you will see a lot with the mid-level and the low-quality bags. The inside does not match the retail copy in any way. So that's another key thing. Like, you have to use, when you're inspecting, you have to use the distance test, right? From 5 feet away, 3 feet away, how fake does it look? As I get closer, does it look like, still like, that looks real to me. Up close, inspection, does it look real? You know, smell it. Smell, if it's supposed to be leather, smell it. Does it smell like glues or plastics or like whatever, you know? Don't fall for the lighter test and all that kind of, that's all junk. You want to do a hands-on test. You want to look at everything. All right, tip number 4 is your interactions with the actual sales guy. You want to ask questions. You want to ask, where is this bag coming from? Where is it made? Is it made here in Istanbul or is it coming from China? They will tell you like, no, this bag comes from China. We bring it in, or this one here, yeah, these are all made in Istanbul. And they can tell you why. They could say, well, listen, you can't get this bag, say it's a backpack, a certain backpack. They don't make it at high quality here in Istanbul. It's too difficult because there's certain type of machinery, certain type of materials, and we're just not good with it. So we have to bring that in from China. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to have it offer or sell it to you. Whereas, like say an Hermes bag or something like that, a croc bag, that kind of stuff, they're like, no, we make that here. And they're gonna be proud of that. Like, no, these are made here in Istanbul. You want this quality of leather. You want this blah, 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 blah. So they are. A high quality place is going to be honest with you where their bags, where their watches, where their shoes, and where their clothing is coming from. They're gonna tell you, there's nothing to hide. They know you've been doing your research, you want the best of the best. They know that honestly, there are things that are made better in China and there's things that are made better here in Istanbul or Turkey in general. And you need to have that understanding as well. So they don't know what you know. So a reputable place wants to be honest with you. They're not trying to fool you. They're not trying to get over on you. So that's why it's important. You need to ask questions. Another thing you need to understand, this is tip number 5, prices will be reflected and change with the quality. So you want low quality, it should be a cheap price. You want mid quality, middle of the road price. High quality, higher price. Just remember, no such thing as high quality, cheap price. It's all bullshit. It's all scammer language. Don't fall for that. So you have to acquaint yourself. In my guide, I go over the different levels of quality that are available here in Istanbul, and I break down the proper price range for each level of quality. So make sure you get my guide, links in the description. This is how we learn people. But right now, I'm giving you more tips, so let's go on to the next one. Tip number 6 is strategy. You need to have an idea of where you're going. If you're looking for low quality crap, you shop outside on the streets. It's that simple. And if you really want the lowest of low, you go to wholesale or you go to street markets that are on like Wednesdays and Fridays and Tuesdays around the city. That's where you'll find the cheapest of cheap, the lowest of low. You don't need my help for that. If you're looking for mid-level quality, like I said, that comes with a kind of a caveat. You're kind of overpaying for something that's not going to last in the end. You're really not getting anything that's going to wow people in the end of the day or wow you. I don't know if you're buying fakes because you want to wow other people or you just want it to feel good, you know, and have something really nice. So shopping strategy, where to shop. If you want the highest of high quality, you're going to have to go to places that have showrooms. Now, just because something is hidden in a showroom does not mean it's the highest quality available. It just means that it's usually of a good quality, but there are people that do play tricks. There are people that know that, listen, if we have a back room and we put some shit in it, we can call it high quality because it's hidden. They know people fall for these games. You truly have to know good reputable places with good sellers that have hidden showrooms that offer a much higher quality than anything you're seeing out in the public eye. So it's strategy. You kind of need to know where to go, who to trust, because you want excellent customer service along with a high quality product, and it has to be at the correct price. So this is another thing. So many places, and it's not that many, but of the places that have this, that have, you know, very extreme elaborate showrooms, they're very extremely overpriced for the level of quality they sell. Are they selling high quality? Sure, they are. But when I tell you it's 60 to 200% more than it's supposed to be, yeah, it's really that expensive. And you're paying for all the fancy decorations. You're paying to feel special. Those are those showrooms that are really designed to get tourists to feel like, oh, I'm in a special place. Oh, this is really the best of the best. And that's why you're going to pay so much more money. When in reality, you're getting taken advantage of. So you have to really understand where to go to get the quality you want at the correct price. All right, tip number 7, negotiate smartly. I have in my guide, I think it's more than 2 pages in my guide where I talk about the correct way of negotiating. You want to have a good rapport. You do not want to have an aggressive haggle. You really don't. When you come to a high-end showroom for high-quality products, it's not an aggressive thing. On the street level stuff, it can get very aggressive. So, and there's reasons behind that. Maybe I'll make another video why the haggle is so aggressive on the street level compared to a high quality, high-end showroom. But you want to negotiate strategically, wise, and read my guide. Understand where you should start, what's the philosophy behind it. But you need to understand everything else I told you in this video so far. You need to understand, what you're looking at. What are you haggling for? Like, if you don't know what you're going to negotiate for, then what's the point of negotiating? Like, you're just talking out of your ass, as I say. So they use that against you. So you need to understand what quality am I haggling for? What's the correct price range it should fall into? And what's my strategy? Now, I'm in a shop. I don't want to say it too loud. People here might get offended, but it's 50 to 60% of their opening price. That's where you want to start, people. Because you need room to go up as they come down. So shop early in your trip. This way you know what's available to you. You get an idea of how everything works. You interact with a bunch of people. You get a little more confidence built up of like, okay, I've seen this, I've seen that. I've interacted with some people. Now I'm ready to go back and negotiate. I'm ready to, I know what's available to me. I know I can walk out of this place and go somewhere else and get that same quality. And I'm confident in my skills and I'm comfortable now. I'm comfortable, so I can do it. If you just come in here cold, you're always gonna be at a disadvantage. You're not gonna really know what's available to you in this city. And you're usually gonna wind up overpaying a lot or getting just taken advantage of. Number 9 tip, we're talking about scams, people. One of the scams that happens in shops is the switch out. What I mean by that is you get an item off the shelf, you're haggling for that item, but then you're not getting this one off the shelf. They're bringing you one from somewhere else. This is where you need to really look again at the item they're actually giving you. Shoes, clothing, bags. Usually watches, you're getting that one. Usually in watches, like you're getting that one you see. But when it comes to bags, when it comes to clothing, and it comes to shoes, you need, whatever they're bringing you, they have a runner, he goes and gets the items, you need to inspect those items again. You don't want to get caught up in the switch out. So that's number 9. Does it happen? Yes. Is it very common? You just got to be careful because there are places that I do know that do the switch where they're showing a much higher level and what you're getting is a notch down below. So it increases their profit. And you don't know, you're not really like, And then you get back to the hotel and you're like, I don't know, they looked better in store.
If you find this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing.